Hello again, this is part 3 of making a megacity from scratch. Of course we're using megacity 57 here, the one that I demolished a little while ago. If you've been watching the last couple parts, mainly what I've been doing is saving up this $40 million right here. That is what I'm going to use in this part of the video series to remake the entire city the way I want it to be in the final. Basically destroying almost everything, all this dirty crap all over the place here is gonna go, and I'm gonna remake it and do the basic frame of what I want the final city to look like. So let's get started. First, what I'm going to be doing here is de-zone everything. Some of you are probably wondering why I would bother destroying all of it. Main reason is because I've noticed over time the cities just tend to build better if they go from scratch rather than if I leave some of this dirty industrial and try to remake it like that. It just works better. Now, since I didn't really plan out my police and fire very well either when I was doing this little startup city, I'm going to get rid of all that stuff too and then put that back in a more sensible place. I like to try to get them as far apart as possible and use every little bit of space possible that I can, just to avoid waste. Every little bit counts when you're rebuilding. And kind of looks like we're getting close here, yeah, to the rebuild. Now, I'm probably not going to keep all 4 of these power plants. I'm hoping I'll be able to upgrade to the hydrogen plants fairly quickly this time. It really it changed between cities how I would lay it out and how it would develop. But I'm hoping this one will go smoothly since it's the one that I'm doing a video of. Sorry as well, I don't have a very good mic on this system, so I'm just going through the desktop mic, and I've got a little bit of a cold, so that's not helping either. If you are having trouble hearing, or if it kind of blocks out for a little bit, that's most likely what it is. those of you who watched the first two parts, that's where I laid most of this groundwork here. If you're just watching it from this one on, basically the first two parts, I built a big dirty industrial city, made it to $40 million cash, did all the groundwork here, the main frame of the grid, laid it all out there. Didn't do so much of the underground, the subway or anything like that. Just the over on the surface transportation there. But I'll be doing all the subways just after I finish the zoning here, which should take probably another few minutes here. The tricky parts, the residential and commercial here. If you're wondering as well why I'm making these streets throughout the center, it's because the industrial zoning automatically goes to the scale that I want, where the commercial and residential does not, so I have to manually do that, which isn't that big of a deal, but it takes a little bit longer. As you can see, the layout of the map, the grid itself is starting to take a little bit better shape now. You can see the sub-blocks, which are the smallest ones there. This one in particular here is a 6x6 sub-block. The transit blocks are the larger ones, which are the 9x9 squares of sub-blocks, which each have 3 of the subway stations in there. And the larger ones than that are the 3x3 of the transit blocks, which is makes up total 9, of course, which I call the Vega blocks there, which not really so important other than that they fit squarely in the map. So that looks like the groundwork for that done. That's just for the surface roads. So next, let's just get rid of these. Don't need these here. Next is going to be the subways. Actually, no, sorry, scratch that. Next is going to be the zoning for the residential and the commercial, because the subways get easier to put in after that. Forgot about that. So I'm just going to go around and do pretty much the exact same thing, except you'll notice they don't fit quite well there. So what I'm going to do is line them up as best as I can. I usually use the shift and the control button to get them in the best lineup that I can. Sometimes if you have a higher density, the kind of auto fits to wherever it wants to. But if I try to do anything like that now, it just auto fits all over the place and does not look quite like what I want it to, unless I want a big, huge 6x6 block there. So I'm just going to go around, fill each one like this, which takes a considerable amount of time compared to what I was just doing a second ago there with the industrial. But not that bad if you you know how the roads work and how it likes to fit more with the. It'll always want to fit with a larger road rather than a smaller road. So I'll show you what I mean in just a second here once I finish this one. If I try to run it lengthwise down a street here, it's not going to line up because it wants both ends of this to meet up with that road there and the bottom here. It always wants to go with the bigger road, so what I would want to do, line it with the bigger road there, and then line it with the roads on the side, and then you can carry on the middle. I'm not going to worry too much about these later because I'm going to be putting in parks. Each one of these gets a little park right there and then a larger, medium-sized park right behind it. Someone asked me in one of the forums that I posted Someone asked me in one of the forums why I put the residential on the inside there. And what I mean by inside, between the two layers, we'll have when I'm finished the commercial in the center, residential taking these side blocks here, kind of like this, and then industrial on the outside. The reason I did that is because if I squished all of the residential in the center, all of these roads and subway lines coming along the center through these main transit routes would have been even more packed than they're going to be once this is fully built out, which is going to be quite a bit anyways. So no need to make it crazy, because it never seemed to have any benefit to do that. And the next thing I'm going to be doing after I'm done this zoning is going to be these subways, because that's probably the next most expensive thing in the building phase. I forget the actual cost, to be honest. It was pretty high in the millions, though, of how much it costs just to even lay just the lines themselves across the map, because there's so many lines. Pretty much one line follows each of these major roads. So yeah, it's a lot.
Understand why
Now you'll probably also notice some of you who play quite a bit that I'm not really making any custom sized large zones, like 4x4s or 5x5s. Mainly just because, especially for residential, I really like the way that the 3x3 zones develop out. It seems to work faster. It works I'd say more densely together. It fits larger buildings in more of a smaller of a space. So it seems to just it seems in general just to work better for what I'm doing, really. If you want a nicer looking downtown that's all kind of planned out, you might want to use zones. Like I'll show you, I'm talking about the 4x4 is one of the ones I see quite often. That one there. And to do that, you just hold control while you're zoning out. You can make whatever size you want. Commercial, sometimes you see 6x6 zones or 5x5 zones or 4x4 zones, any of those. But for me, I tend to just use the 3x3 just because it works for me. So that's why you see a lot of these. It doesn't look like 3x3s, but once they start developing larger, they will kind of sort themselves out into 3x3 little zones. You'll see what I'm talking about that later on.
Sometimes in life, and why? And I ask myself why.
Yeah, you can see these ones are cooperating so far for zoning. They don't always do this. Sometimes it's kind of a pain because they just kind of scramble, kind of like that. I didn't figure out the reason for that, but I know it seems to happen quite often to me. Maybe in this case it's just because there's parks and subway stations there. But yeah, it makes it much easier. You know, just kind of spread it across and they just autofill. These ones don't autofill to 3x3s, but they will later on often divide up into 3x3 zoning. Even though it starts off as like, what is that, 6 different 2x3s, yeah. So now I'm done zoning. I'm just gonna make sure I didn't miss anything here.